Defense stole the show. 4 turnovers for a Vic Fangio-led unit, and frankly, they needed every single one. Jalen Hurts and this offense were held to 290 total yards. Its lowest mark since Week 13 against the Ravens. Philly hasn't been great. Honestly, it's been pretty ugly. They've scored 7 points in the second half of their last 3 games combined, but with all the talent on this offense and facing an inconsistent Minnesota team, I like the Birds here. I mean, really, you can just give the rock to 26 and let him handle it. Side note, by the way, if anyone knows any suit tailors
that can make that,
find me the money suit.
Like
you just look so composed on the football field. Your team shuts out Richmond in the fourth quarter. You're able to score 9 valuable points, but walk me through that final drive where you're usually tossing the rock, scoring a couple touchdowns every game, but it took almost 60 minutes for you to throw that first passing touchdown on the afternoon. Walk me through that final drive. A tough weekend in Cleveland for the Penguins, losing both their games to the Monsters. Throughout the week in practice, what's the optimism level like heading into a matchup where you've been able to beat the Bears 5 times, they've beaten you 5 times, it's the 11th time you've played, but obviously the stakes are a little higher as we creep towards the playoffs. And Chase gets to kick off his season with the rest of his Trojan teammates here on this turf right here. It's a Trojan versus Trojan matchup with Nanticoke coming into town. How are you guys getting prepared for that Week 1 game? Because Nanticoke has a first-year head coach in Damon Saxon. He'll bring a new identity to his squad. How are you guys preparing for that Week 1 matchup next Friday now?
Next Friday. Isn't it crazy? It's here already, right? Yeah.
The Loyal Saw girls basketball program wins its first state title in school history, 55-43 over Shady Side Academy. From start to finish, the Lancers earned their chocolate here in Hershey, but more importantly, a state championship banner. Kyle, we just touched on the qualifying today. You'll be starting 24th in tomorrow's Great American Getaway 400. Of course, though, you do 160 laps for a reason. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. For you, as someone that has, experience here at the Pocono Raceway, to start back a little bit back in the line, but work your way up throughout the race. What's that process like? Is that something you could be comfortable with and still win a race? Some teams, they needed a little luck. Are you ready for this? This script was pretty good.
Yes.
They needed some luck to advance into districts. Others roaring to massive victories.
I love that.
It's a spooky time of year where a trick play can end your season, but some treats can keep you smiling for yet again another Friday. Only 3 times ever have multiple Penn State players been drafted inside the top 10, but with just a few hours before the first round of the NFL draft ensues, there's a chance it could happen again. For the first time since Courtney Brown and LeVar Arrington were the first 2 picks in the 2000 NFL draft. On the Diamondbacks side, Jake McCarthy's been a member of Arizona for a couple of years now. He won't be playing tonight. He recently got optioned to AAA, and today he's actually facing Mason Black of Valley View at the AAA level. So Scranton's taken over baseball, but on the Mets side, Max Kranick, the Valley View grad, has been a star for New York out of the bullpen.
You knew that.
Our photographer Tony was right. He was getting the shot. And then climbed to the top and had the radio headset so I can hear the crew chief communicating with Matt, the driver.
Are they ever saying curse words?
We had to turn down the noise for a live because I had the mic on and the crew chief. I was called the FNG. We'll PG this, the fun new guy of the crew chief. Yeah. Hello to the state playoffs on this Week 13 edition of the Friday Night Football Show. I'm Nick Zelaya, taking you across NEPA for first round action. 12 teams remain hoping to get one step closer to a state championship, and championships on the line in District 4. The AA bracket wrapping up with Southern Columbia and Troy. Part 3 tonight, the winner of this matchup the last 2 years going on to win a title in Cumberland Valley. The Tigers 11-1 this year, hosting the Trojans with an identical record. But this game, it was anything but identical between 2 run-heavy offenses. Second quarter, we've got no score. Aiden Hockenbrock, we've seen him really develop that passing game, finds Jace Malakowski, and Joey Williams caps off a 12-play Tiger drive, 3-yard score to put Southern up 7-0. The Tigers back to that ground game and growling some more. Braden Andrews, the 14-yard score to put Southern ahead, 14-0. One more tutty before recess. How about Hockenbrock? Perfectly placed for Nate Gallagher. This is really vintage Southern. It's 21-0 at the half. In the third, Braden Andrews. Kids, you got to keep playing until you hear a whistle. He does that, stays on his feet, and walks into the end zone. And then later in the third, it's Braden Andrews breaking a tackle and down the sideline he goes. 87 yards for a house call, his third of the evening, and Southern in complete control. They would add another score in the fourth quarter on a Parker Persarchik 1-yard score. And how about Southern Columbia shutting out the defending state champs Troy 42-0. Now over to the District 11 Class AA title. Top seed Schuylkill Haven, Williams Valley meeting for the third straight year. Vikings won the last two and off to a fiery start. Brady Schomper zips it to Colin Criswell down to the 1, and Schomper finishing the duties himself. Emerges from the pile eventually, and Valley has a 7-0 lead, but the Hurricanes strike back. Watch Blake Rossi. Oh, only needs one hand for that grab, 31 yards. That ties us at 7. Haven gets a stop on D, back with the football, and there's Colton Reber. 16 yards to the house, the Canes go in front 14-7. Reber has stepped into a massive role this season and continues to do this. He's explosive, he's fast, and he's on his way for his second score of the night. 21 straight from Haven has them up big. And in the second, Haven extending its lead. There's Grayson Fessler, a 29-yarder. Schuylkill Haven, its largest lead of the game, 24-7. But the Vikings start to get rolling. There's Fletcher Thompson jogging into the end zone, cutting the deficit to 10. And then just before the halftime break, maybe the play of the night, completely swings the momentum, lining up to punt, fake it, Schomper to a wide open Thompson who has a straight lane to the crib. The Vikings hand Haven its first loss of the year and win a third straight district title, 34-31. Another top 10 battle featuring Scranton Prep and Mifflinburg. First round of the AAA tournament. In the first, it's Chad Martin airing it out for Landon Murray. 76 yards to the house, and Mifflinburg, they've got a 14-0 lead. But in the second quarter, Will McPartland and Scranton Prep get going. From 5 yards out, it's McPartland finding the end zone to cut the lead to 14-7. Mifflinburg back with the football in the second. Ricky Dewey, though, the scoop, and he scores it off the strip sack fumble. Scranton Prep, just like that, we have a tie game, 14-14. In the second, later on in the frame, Chad Martin and Landon Murray connect for a third time this evening. Mifflinburg has incredible grab. It's 21-14 at the halftime break, but McPartland and Scranton Prep shut out Mifflinburg. There he is scoring to tie us at 21, and then McPartland, 3 rushing touchdowns. Prep takes its first lead of the game, and it ends up being the final score. Scranton Prep on to the state quarterfinals, 28-21. Here's Elena Lucido with more after the game. A local legend back in NEPA after winning his first career Super Bowl as an NFL coach, Vic Fangio, and we had a chance to spend some time with the Philly coordinator at his old stomping grounds.
And it won't be easy going against this Vic Fangio defense. #1 defense all year long. They've been great again tonight.
38 years after taking his first NFL coaching job with the New Orleans Saints, Vic Fangio wins his first Super Bowl at the Superdome while coaching for his lifelong favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles.
To finally achieve that, and I think I realize it more and more each day than maybe right when it happened.
Nearly 3 weeks after hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, Fangio returned home to Dunmore, catching up with some family and old teammates, experiencing the new fieldhouse on Dunmore's campus, and spreading some wisdom to the current Bucks players.
I'll come back and see my mother, who's still living in the same house that I grew up in. She just turned 98 a couple days ago. See other family members, friends, go to Rignacci's and have my favorite food there. It's nice. It's always good to come home, and now that it's just 2 hours away, I'll be back here more often.
Fangio's defense put on one of the most memorable performances in Super Bowl history, sacking Patrick Mahomes a career-high 6 times and keeping the Chiefs scoreless until the final minute of the third quarter. But it was Cooper DeJean's birthday pick 6 that was the highlight of the night, and Fangio takes some credit for speaking it into existence.
He hadn't had an interception yet as a rookie. I told him he was going to get one in this game. I didn't know he'd be a pick 6, but kind of fooled Mahomes a little bit on it, and he stepped in there, got it, and he's a punt returner, so he's a good runner when he does get the ball in his hands.
Eagles fans have great respect for the job Fangio's done with this defense, but what's also admired is his character, becoming a fan favorite in Philadelphia, and even at the parade featuring over 1 million people, Fangio, he still had time to spend
with some hardcore followers.
They had my picture on these sticks, you know, big picture, so I got off the bus and went over there and spent some time with them. It's a great parade route going all the way down Broad Street, so it's kind of like it was made for it.
Fangio's always strive for perfection, even calling a team meeting after giving up 22 points to the Chiefs. But that mentality comes from the late, great Jack Henzis, who Fangio makes sure to instill in his own work each and every day.
He would just be really proud and happy, and I think those would be his overwhelming feelings.